Well, the faces of gender-based violence victims are often splashed across the headlines, and with alleged perpetrators being dragged into the dark on live television. Just how does the publicity or the publicizing of these cases help the fight against GBV? For more on this, we're joined now by social services expert Caroline Peters. Caroline, thank you so much for joining us. You know, we've had hundreds of women, just like Sekgofatse Pule, their dead bodies. When will we start to see them as perhaps more than that and start actually making a change?
Thank you, Annika. Good morning, everyone. Yes, so, I mean, we've seen the statistics that was just released, 902 women murdered between the period of October to December last year. If we say that in hours, it's every 2.5 hours. In October to December, a woman has been killed. And like I said to you offline, Annika, just as this morning after I got your call, I also got a call for help from Samora Michelle, where a 31-year-old woman was murdered by, allegedly murdered, of course, now, because by a boyfriend. The community tried to kick in the door. He wouldn't let them. They then found a body an hour later next to a house, next to the shack in a dump of throat slit 31-year-old with 3 children. You know, and Annika, for me, what stood out now was he's gone off to work, and someone calls me crying, he says, Caroline, and he's just gone to work this morning as if nothing has happened. So when they came across a body, he's already left for work. So Annika, if you look at the shocking statistics, and with Pule, for me, the media should personalize. You know, the victims must, like we've done with the Pule case, give a name, tell her story, you know, and we're grateful with the GBV that media is highlighting these cases more and more, because we're speaking figures, we're speaking numbers, but we're not saying, we're not showing their pictures, we're not saying their names. And I know that with the media, not half of the cases, not even, I would say 30% of all cases makes it to the media. And so when you see that, we really need the media to personalize the victims, who they are. They were someone's mother, they were a family member, instead of highlighting the perpetrator. Yes, we need to know who the perpetrators are. But for me, that, you know, with the media houses, we need the victims to become someone personal. It needs to be personalized who she is.
It seems unless a woman who was murdered in an extremely sadistic way, it doesn't even make the headlines, and that's just because we're so overwhelmed. But quick question for you, just in light of your experience, it seems far more women are being killed by their partners than by strangers. Why is this? Just in your anecdotal experience.
Annika, for me, we have been all, as most of our organizations in the sector, in the gender sector, has been trying to do more and more work with men. And for me, about a year and a half ago, we started doing groups with young men and men. And if we do not change socialization, if we do not speak about toxic masculinity, if we do not speak about these things, then we're never going to change what happens in our communities. And if we look at the violence, it seems like you say, most of women are murdered by perpetrators, their partners, their boyfriends, their husbands, and 18 women were killed on the Cape Flats last week. You know, so for me, those don't get to the news. We will have only the Voice coming to cover these, but we need eNCA, we need the national media houses to come out and even speak about those women, because it almost seems like you say, unless it's very sadistic, unless it's a high profile case, it doesn't even make it to the media.
All right, Caroline, thank you so much. Caroline Peters, a social services expert who works on the ground with victims of gender-based violence, talking to us there on the latest Sekgofatse Pule case.